Cambridge Radio.
A 21-year-old student from Cambridge is believed to be the youngest person and first woman to row unsupported from Europe to South America. Zara Lachlan set off from Lagos on the Portuguese Algarve on October the 27th last year. She arrived in French Guiana on Saturday to complete the 3,600 nautical mile journey. Bit of a time difference. I think it's 5 hours between here and French Guiana, and so I spoke to Zara yesterday afternoon. I've seen the pictures, and the rowing boat seems a little bit more hefty than the kind of one that we might see on the River Cam. How much harder is it to row?
Well, it's about 800 kilos, so it's a little bit heavier to move, especially because I was rowing a two-person boat by myself. But they are made to catch the wind, and they're much less technical, so you don't have to worry about rocking the boat or anything like that, or feathering your blades. So it's much more simple than normal rowing.
And it stays steady on the water, which I pretty much guess is what's needed.
It doesn't actually stay steady. It does tip around a lot because it's made to move with the waves. I had one capsize, which was a complete inversion, but then they self-right as well if you pack the boat correctly, and I just popped back round and carried on rowing.
Does it literally go round full circle? How does that work?
Yeah, a complete turn.
Wow, and is that something that you prepared for beforehand? I guess you would have known that would have been a possibility.
Yeah, and when I was in that weather as well, it was on day 40, and I knew it was capsize weather. I had a few over 90 degrees already, and it feels like you're going to go, but then you don't quite. And I had one that was all the way around, but you're not upside down for very long, and you are suddenly the right way up, and you're like, whoa, what happened?
What was it like then when, after 97 days, I think it was, when French Guiana came into sight?
Oh, incredible, because it means that I was nearly there, and it'd been nearly there for a really long time, and that last week was actually really tough, to feel like I was near the finish but to not feel like the finish was getting any closer. So when I first saw the trees in the distance, which actually was very close because French Guiana's flat, so I was about 5 miles away, and it was incredible to see them.
So almost 3 months in a boat on your own. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, what sort of effect does that have on you? Are you the sort of person who enjoys their own company, or do you crave to be up with other people?
I thankfully enjoy my own company a lot more than I thought I did. But I definitely prefer being around people that I like a lot more than just being on my own. So I'm really looking forward to going home tomorrow and being able to, my boyfriend's picking me up from the airport, and then I'm going back to university, and I get to see all my friends, and obviously I'll see my family as well. So really looking forward to all of that.
Did you feel it had an effect on you? I guess both mentally and physically, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think biggest change was mentally. Physically, I lost a lot of muscle in my legs because you don't use all of your leg muscles for rowing. But I mentally learned to be a lot kinder on myself, because you've kind of got to be, when you're setting yourself targets, that sometimes the weather isn't going to let you get, no matter how hard you try. And if I kept the same mentality, I would have had a really miserable 3 months. And I learned to just try as hard as I could and row the hours that I could row that day, and get as far as I could. And some days I would meet my goals and some days I wouldn't.
What's a typical 24 hours like? Presumably, are you looking at charts, the weather, thinking, right, well, if I use this time of day to row and this time of day to sleep, I'll get further? Is it that sort of working?
Yeah, you think about that a little bit, but more importantly, to stay on a routine if possible. So I slept for 2 hours twice a night, and then half an hour in the middle of the day, and I tried to stick to that whenever possible. There were points when I didn't get any sleep in the day because I couldn't, and you just have to assess it. I got sent weather every few days from my weather router, who's also my coach, and he would tell me exactly where to go and what to do to avoid weather and stuff, so I didn't actually have to do too much of the thinking by myself, which was nice because I was quite tired.
And how many hours a day of sleep did you get?
Never more than 5, but it was
I
never.
heard you say, and I thought to myself, no, I'm really pleased with myself because my app on my phone tells me I'm sleeping half an hour extra a night in this year. And I'm thinking, great. But that gives me 7.5 hours. You're getting only 4 or 5.
Yeah, and also when you're not having it in one chunk, you're kind of only going through one sleep cycle before then you wake up again. So you wake up feeling actually not that tired, but then after a few hours, your body's like, we are tired actually. But I came back onto land on Saturday, and I slept for 5 hours in one go that night in a bed, and it was amazing. I woke up and I felt like a new person.
What about food? What did you take with you?
Dehydrated food. You pour water into a powder and then it solidifies and you eat it. I didn't eat any of my food hot because I was far too lazy to heat it up. And
like a healthy version of pot noodle.
Yeah. But for every meal for 3 months, so coming back and having fresh vegetables and warm stuff.
Oh, come on, you must have a weakness. Do you have like a chocolate fetish or something as well as the vegetables?
No, I actually haven't eaten chocolate in about 10 years, so not quite chocolate.
Goodness.
Yeah.
What was the worst thing about your time at sea?
Just that first month when the weather was really hard. I wanted to stop every day, and it pushed me more mentally than I knew I could be pushed. And then looking back on it, I'm actually really glad that I had it, because going actually across the Atlantic after the first month, the trade winds weren't strong at all, and they didn't fully establish until I was already in my 13th week. And I know that if I didn't have that first month of really testing me, I probably would have been going across the Atlantic thinking, oh, I wish the wind was a bit stronger. But I was just grateful it wasn't against me anymore, so I did not mind, and I had a really good time for the rest of it.
I'm amazed because I read that you lost your phone or broke your phone after 40 odd days or so, and there was a shark. Maybe it was a nice shark, but neither of those figure as the worst things.
Oh no, but breaking my phone meant that I didn't have anything to listen to for the next 57 days, which meant I had a lot more hallucinations than most solo rowers. And I liked my hallucinations because they were very, very pleasant. Some people have quite scary ones, but I had a great time, so I didn't mind.
Okay. Did you think, what you've done will be an inspiration, I guess particularly for women, but for anybody, quite frankly, to get into sport, in rowing or something else for that matter?
I hope it is. I'm not assuming that it is, but I hope that people can look at this and then encourages them to do something to keep them fit. It doesn't have to be a crazy challenge or extreme or anything. It's just something that you enjoy, that you can do for a long time, that is going to keep you in shape.
And what's the next challenge for you?
I'm not sure. So I need to go back to university and then go to Sandhurst in September. But
so you're joining a career in the military is what
yes.
For you, right?
And then I'm sure if I want to do something else like this again, Team Forces will help me out again, and they will support me to do something else crazy, which is very, very, I'm so grateful for that support.
So how does it work, the relationship with Team Forces? You're not in the forces yet, or are you? Because there are sort of entry points in.
Yes, I signed a military contract at 15, and I went to military sixth form, and then I got sponsored through university, and I have a return of service that I have to complete anyway. I think it's 7 years. So technically at the moment, while I'm a student, I'm a reservist, but then I go to Sandhurst, I'll be a full-time regular.
Congratulations. It's something I could absolutely never do. Getting across a lake is another challenge for me. So extremely well done, and thanks very much for speaking to us.
Thank you so much, Julian.